EnviroGold's Global has recently announced a leadership refresh with changes to its board and executive structure. The company is positioning itself to capitalize on U.S. government initiatives that's fast-tracking critical minerals production, including a rapid deployment pathway through their micro NVRO program that was announced at the start of December. David and Grant, welcome to our program.
Hey, Rachel. Hello, well, great to be here.
So like mentioned, you've just refreshed your board and executive team. What drove the restructuring here, and how does it align with your business strategy moving forward?
Rachel, we've had an amazing year, and through that time we've locked off our position as an R&D company. We've got amazing technology. It's protected by know-how and IP, and those technology enhancements will continue. But our focus is a dramatic and very precise shift to commercialization. Now, in doing that, the way I look at it, it's about the right people in the right place doing the right job. And for me, as sort of founder and largest shareholder, it was appropriate that I become chair of the board, focused on strategy and kind of the high level vision, I guess, that I thought about when I started the company several years ago. In doing that, moving Paul McRae to lead independent director was a very clear and precise move. He's got a lifetime's experience in the mining sector. He knows how to build mines. He knows how to operate mines. He knows how to run companies. And he's very, very well respected. So that's sort of the key board changes. But very importantly, probably most importantly, was appointing Grant as CEO. Grant's been with the company now. We've worked together for 15 months. He's had a pivotal role in moving us from R&D and technology focus, so out of the pilot stage, out of the lab, into the real world where we're dealing with customers and execution and commercial, long-term, predictable contracts. That's where Grant's played an incredible role for the last bit over a year. But now, with his skills and experience, he's done this before, he's the right person to lead the company to the next level and build out his team and experience that he holds. So for us, it was a very, very precise, clearly defined strategic step to take EnviroGold to the next level.
Well, then allow me to throw this next question to Grant. Grant, the U.S. government is fast-tracking critical minerals production, of course, to reduce foreign supply dependence. How does EnviroGold fit into this policy shift? What kind of opportunities does it create for the company?
Look, from our side, we couldn't have written this executive order any better if we tried. What the government's released is basically a number of initiatives to say we need to recover metals from tailings. Now, the reason why they're in tailings is because they couldn't be recovered previously. So the only way to bridge that gap is via technology. Now, what we have at the EnviroGold is the NVRO process, which is a very, very unique process, which actually breaks down the sulfide bonds to release the metals. But not only do we do that, there's a significant environmental benefit as well. Acid mine drainage is a massive problem on all mine sites, which is these sulfides breaking down to create acid, and that acid then can leach and end up in the water table, leach metals and base metals into the water table. And that's where you get things like lead poisoning. So we have two benefits of our process that absolutely directly align with the executive order number 3436. And that's absolutely critical. But expanding on that, what we've done is tried to focus on how do we assist customers quickly go and use our technology and test if our technology works. And that's where the rapid deployment pathway that you mentioned comes into play.
Well, keyword rapid.
Just if I can comment on that,
yeah, go ahead.
Rachel and Grant, one of the key strategy, or the key obvious point here is that, to Grant's point, the United States imports over 60% of its silver requirements every year. Now, that volume of silver is sitting in tailings dams in America. So it's sort of a no-brainer, if I can use the term, that we should be reworking existing mines to recover minerals that are right on the back doorstep.
Well, tell me, and this can be a question for either one of you or both of you, the key word with your program is rapid. Why does speed to market matter in critical minerals?
Look, from my viewpoint, the reason why we have the rapid deployment pathway is about 18 months ago, we purchased a one-of-one nickel, direct nickel nitric plant, which we've reconfigured for the NVRO process. That is really, really important, because if you want to do these testing on our process, to go and set up a lab, do a feasibility test, takes an extremely long period of time with the labs. Because we have our own plant, the demonstration plant located in Perth, we can do that very, very quickly for you. But what happened was our customers were asking for, well, we'd like to test some different things, test variability, etc. And that was really the basis of the micro NVRO. We're speaking to a number of clients as we speak for rolling out our micro NVROs, which is exactly the same as the demo plant, just on a much smaller scale. So we can transport it to the client site, do additional testing there, again, as a precursor to much more detailed testing through our demonstration plant. So I think we've got the rapid deployment pathway means the customer can actually get through a full testing and feasibility study level on our process within 6 to 12 months. If they went and did that themselves using external labs, that could be 2 to 3 to 4 years. So we advance these customers very, very quickly.
Well, putting this all together, right? New leadership, government tailwinds, your deployment tech, what should investors understand about near-term catalysts and path to revenue?
We have one focus, Rachel, and that is to build on our current customer engagements, move them through the rapid deployment pathway, and execute long-term, life-of-mine, recurring license fee contracts. Now, that's our target. There's a lot of work to do underneath that, but it's a very clear goal. We're well positioned for that. We have the right people. We have the right balance sheet. So that's our focus. And I think investors should be watching the stock very carefully, because we expect some exciting things to happen through 2026 and beyond.
And Grant, you get last word as CEO.
Look, it's been exciting to step up to the CEO position, and thanks to the board for their support. I'm really excited about 2026. 2025 was about optimizing everything. 2026 is now about rolling this out. We're looking forward to getting our first client in 2026, and that will be the first of many. And we're very excited where we are right now. Building out my management team has been critical in the last few months. We've added additional staff there as well. Mike Nelson coming on as our project director. All these things are setting us up for rolling out clients, and that's 100% our focus for 2026.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll see you next time.
Rachel, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much, Rachel. Have a good day.
Ticker symbols for EnviroGold are below for you guys to check out. Of course, always do your own homework. Go to CEO.CA, where you can start off and understand market sentiment directly for yourself. Thanks for watching.